yesterday and I picked up a lot of these violas and pansies for a really good price, and I also picked up these 3 hanging planter baskets. So I'm going to fill these up with some soil from the garden, and then I'm going to add in those pansies and violas, and then I think I'm just going to hang them on this railing that's above me. It's just at our back door area, and I think it'll look really nice in the winter time having those 3 hanging baskets there with these flowers in them. So that's what I'm going to do now. Vegetable plants that I'm going to be putting into this garden here because it seems like it would make the most sense. It's getting the most sun during the day. So I brought some cabbages and some broccolis, and I also have some beetroots growing in another garden and some lettuces growing in that garden as well. So I didn't need to get any of that, but I thought I might as well just plant these things and have them growing through the winter time while there's not much else going on in the garden. So the clips that I showed you earlier, I was actually digging out some weeds and some grass that we have in this garden, and so now the soil's really loose, so I'm going to stomp it down and just rake the rest of those weeds and mess of the garden, and then I'm going to go ahead and plant those vegetables. you haven't gardened before but you would like to start a garden, I have been gardening for the last 3 to 4 years and I have learned a lot already along the way. I still have plenty more to learn about gardening, but I did want to share a couple of tips with you if you are wanting to get started on planting a garden. The first tip that I have for you is to go to a gardening centre and see what they have in season. I remember when I first started gardening, I was really overwhelmed with what to plant. I didn't know what was in season, what could grow that time of year, what could grow in my region. So if you're not a textbook person and you are not keen to learn that way, I would recommend just going to the gardening centre and having a look at what they have out, because usually that is what you can plant that time of year. So I went to the gardening centre a couple of days ago and I picked up some winter vegetables. Obviously in the summer there is a lot more that you can plant, so maybe that is an option for you to start your garden in the summer if there's not really anything in the winter that you want to grow. But that is my first tip. The second tip that I have for you is to just start small and buy only what you need and what you will use. So when I first started gardening, I was so excited by all of the things that I was going to plant and that we were going to have growing in our garden that I just brought too much and I ended up having to throw away a lot of the produce. So I note to self to not do that again. I still have to remind myself to do that every time I'm planting a garden. Just plant what you need and what you will use, because even though it's so exciting when you're learning to garden and you have all of these things growing in your garden, it does become a lot to maintain and it becomes really overwhelming and it is a big put off. So just grow what you need and what you will actually use.